Hello and welcome. Today's video, we're pretty much going to take everything that we learned on freeCodeCamp's HTML and CSS section and actually apply it to like a real life example or something. Let's say you guys go to a business, let's say a skateboard shop. You sell them the idea of a website. You come home, you know a whole bunch of stuff you learned on freeCodeCamp, but now you're in front of your computer and have no idea where to start to actually create the web page. So what you want to do first is create a folder that's going to contain the website. So we can name this folder whatever. We could do skate site. Inside of this folder, we want to create a file, a blank text file. So we go to new and then text document. We want to name it skate shop site. We want to make sure to change our extension from txt to HTML. And then just press enter. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes. So once this is created, if we open this, first we notice that it's now, when it's opened, it opens in a web browser, and that's because we did change it to HTML. So now when we open this, it will open in our Chrome browser as a blank page, since there is nothing in it yet. So then we need to edit and start putting stuff in here. In order to do that, you need a text editor. Any text editor works fine, like Notepad, but Notepad isn't as helpful as other text editors that exist out there, such as Notepad++, which color codes things really nicely as opposed to just a blank text document. But then there's also, a whole bunch of other ones. I'll be using brackets. Brackets, let me open this. This should be cool. So actually let's just open. So once you're in your text editor, just open your, well, there's what I should have done. Exit this, right click here, right click on it, open with brackets. So now that this is our empty text document opened inside of my brackets text editor. In here we could actually start doing stuff. What I like about brackets is they have this cool live preview that you could actually click. Once you click this, you could have brackets open side by side, and you could start doing stuff in here, like just what we're doing on freeCodeCamp. Create an H1, say hello world. Just one more time. So we get hello world to print out. Let me see if hi. Okay, so my live preview some reason live preview is not populating right away. Well, anyways, first thing we gotta do that they didn't actually show us, syntax error. Let's try turning this off, turning it back on. One more time. So we'll have to deal with that. So what they didn't teach us on freeCodeCamp is the actual template of what our HTML should look like. I went ahead and got that here. This is called boilerplate text. So this is what, the skeleton of an HTML should look like. We got our head tag and we got our body tag. Head tags don't actually contain any visible stuff except the title, which we could change to, instead of zoomies, I'm going to call this store zoomies. So if I save this and then try to open it over here, you guys can see that the tab now has the title of zoomies. So whatever you put in the title, which is inside of our head tag, is going to be displayed there. So notice everything is inside of an HTML tag, and then after that we have a head tag, which contains information that's not actually displayed on the page, but you put stuff like your links to other pages or to external fonts or anything like that you put in the head. Body is where your content will go. So here's where we can start with like our H1 tag, which will be, welcome to zoomies. That will be our heading. So if we were to save this and then look at it, now we have welcome to zoomies. Actually see if it's updating now. Well, it's updating now. So let's write something like welcome to the greatest skate shop in the known galaxy and beyond. So now we have a heading 1, we have a paragraph. Under our paragraph, okay, let's say under our heading 1 we want a subheading. Do an H2 and I could write who are we? We provide the greatest skate stuff. We are great. We are better than all the other skate shops in the whole universe. Okay, whatever. So we got some text now, and then under that we have our next subheading, which will be also an H2, and we could say, what do we provide? No, let's say why us. Why us? Let's utilize our ordered list. Now let's do an unordered list. That's why it's like bullet points. So we would do ordered or unordered list. Inside we put our list items. We can do, I don't know, like 3 of these or something. Control C. So now we have 3 bullet points of why us. Or why us. We rock. We gangsta. And why not? So now we have all this stuff. We don't have any image yet. Let's throw an image in there just to make it a little more captivating. You can just go to Google. Just put, I don't know, skateboarder. Of course, if you guys are doing this for an actual business, you want to make sure you get royalty free or use your own images. But for this example, we'll just use whatever. Since we didn't actually learn like how to make images responsive inside of a page, I'm not gonna use this like super huge one, because it's gonna cover the whole page and make our, it's gonna make it too hard to see. So let me use a small one like this one's only 600. So we go here, we go to view image, we get the URL, we copy it, we come back to brackets, and we want to place our image probably on top or under the welcome. I guess we can do it under. See what it looks like. Image, and then we specify the source, which is the URL. We'll put that in there. And that should be, you're supposed to put an alt tag, which is for like people who can't see, who have screen readers. They'll be read that picture since they can't see it, or else if the page doesn't load the picture, the people will still be able to see this message of alternative text, which is, we'll just put something simple, skateboarder skating in a, I think it's a bowl. And then we close the tag, and it should place the image inside of our here, which it did. So welcome to Sumi's. So maybe we should put the picture on top of the heading, see what the difference is. X, paste. Yeah, so it's a little better. So we didn't really learn much about centering stuff, but this whole page can be centered. We'll actually do an input under here. We can do something like first the paragraph says, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about our site. And then we'll put our input under it, input, which will make of type text, because we want to take in text. And I believe they're self-closing. Let's see what this is looking like. You can see down at the bottom here, there's a little text box. Right there. So now we want a button next to it. So come back to brackets. So at the bottom here, we'll make a button. This is of type button, or type submit. And inside, I guess we just want the word submit. It's okay. We want to put our input and our button inside of a form. So now we have our button here at the bottom. We can type stuff in. You guys rock. But I click submit, nothing happens, and that's because we're not specifying inside of our form element where we want that information sent, since we don't actually have a real server to send it to at the moment. We'll just put some random. We'll just leave it like that. So that actually, you rock, cannot get submit because there's nowhere we're sending it to. So it's kind of just a little basic layout. Let's see what we have. What else did we learn about? We learned about styling, so we can do a little styling. So we learned one way of doing styling, which was where you just create a style tag, and like I said, freeCodeCamp didn't actually have it set up this way where you can see you just had your style tag at the top, but you want it inside your head. And this is how they showed us. And then let's say we want to change all H1s, which are heading 1 elements. We want to like do stuff to it, style it. We would do H1 and then curly braces and whatever we want done to it inside of here, such as we could do color and do something like purple, and our text changes to purple. Let's say we want to do H2s and we want to do color green. Let's say we want to go to our paragraphs and do color red, dark red, whatever. So we do a little styling. Now our stuff styled, we could also do our unordered list or our list items. We didn't link to any, we didn't anchor tag anything. Let's say inside of our first paragraph, then all their skate shops in the whole universe. If you don't believe us, check out our YouTube page here. If you don't believe us, check out our YouTube page here. So let's say we just want the word here to be a clickable blue link. We would actually just put our A tag around this. So the opening would be in the front, and then let's say we just want the word here, not the period, just the word here, and then we would close it right there. So it's still not a clickable link because we're not telling it to go anywhere yet. So to do that, we come into the A tag, the opening A tag, and we just add a reference, a hyperlink reference, or an href to the site we want to link to. I'll just make something like http youtube.com. So now we can see it's clickable, and if I click this, it should take me to youtube.com, which it does. So now we're able to link outside. For some reason it's not updating now. Maybe I gotta... Alright, let's click this again. Okay. So, in our body or in our form, what else can we really do? We did mess with divs a little bit, classes and IDs. So let's put everything within our body inside of a div, and we'll give that div an ID. So let's say I'm right in my body. Say I want to put everything inside of my body inside of one container. So I create this thing called a div, which is just a divider. And we put the end of our div down here. So now you see this little blue line. It's showing that everything is inside of the div. So at the top, if we give our div an ID and set it equal to, what should we name it? Everything, I guess, or all stuff. So if we go into our style here, let's say to select an ID, we use hash symbol. And what did we name it? We named it all stuff. So let's say we want to just center everything on the page, all the text that's within the div. We didn't, I think, learn about centering text, but I know that it is text align, center, and now voila. All stuff is centered on our page. Let's make it big. So that's how it's looking. Let's create a class maybe for class second H2 second H2. So in our style up here, remember to select classes, you do the dot. And what do we want done to that class? So our second H2 is this green Y us. What do we want done to it? Let's give it a background color of aqua. So let's say our first H1, which is right here, we give it a class of first H2. And then in our style up here, we select first H2 and we give it a background color of this red fire brick. Oh, I selected our H1. I didn't want that. X Control X and then Control V. So there you go. So now we apply different styles to different classes, and our ID, which is our div, everything within it is centered. I think that's pretty much basic stuff that we learned. We learned like commenting, linking to external fonts was another thing that's pretty important. If you know there's a certain font that you might find on Google that you really want to use, I actually have it open here. You would just Google Google fonts, and I could just go from the beginning so you guys can see Google fonts. You kind of get some right here. If you go down, you get like the most popular ones. Let's say we want this one, Oswald. We click it. It takes us to here. Once you're here, you go to select this font. This cool little pop-up should come up with this link here. Control C. So let's say like right now we try to use Oswald. Let's see what happens when we go to here and we try to give our H1. We'll do our H1. See what happens if we try to give it a font. Let me put it side to side so we can see it happening. Here, I want to give it a font family of Oswald. So nothing actually happens, and that's because we haven't linked to that font that it is available through this Google link. And since it's looking for it, it's not able to find it because it's not linked to it. Even, let me just to super verify, if I do a capital O, it doesn't do anything either. But check out, let me leave it spelled wrong. That link that I got here, I want to paste it, you know, right at the side of my head. So now I'm linking to it. So now that right now that I spelled it, that put this O here, you guys should be able to see my H1 welcome to Sumi's change. So 1, 2, and it changed. So that's linking to outside fonts. You could link to all sorts of fonts. You know, you could put like 3 different fonts. You don't have to just have one link to a font. You can add different ones. Like, just to clarify, let's do, I don't know what this one is. We'll apply this one to our H2s. Same concept, click that to get, and then click here. I guess it has to be Control C. And put it under here. So now we're linked to it. Now we would just add that to our H2s, which are here. We would give them font family, and this one is called MONTSERRA. And watch how it changes right now. So it did not change. Let us see why. H2s, color green, font family. Let me see, make sure that we did this right. So we linked here. Oh, it's because I put it inside of the style. Silly me. So copy this out. You want to make sure it's not inside the style because style has no idea what to do with that. So check out, look at these two. Who are we and why us? Right now I'm going to paste it 1, 2, and 3. And you see our font change. So that is linking to, external fonts. We could also, I'm going to finish this off. I can't really think of other stuff to go over at the moment. But what they didn't teach us that I wish they should have on freeCodeCamp is how to actually separate your CSS from your HTML. That way you don't have to, take up a huge chunk with this style. So you see I'm going to cut this out real quick. And then go back and you're going to see now it's plain again. No style. So how can we take that style and separate it from here? What we have to do is go back to that folder we created that contains our HTML, and we want to add a new text file, blank text. Here we can name it, skate shop site style. This will contain our CSS, and of course we must change this as well, except if instead of HTML we put CSS. And of course we want to change it because we know what we're doing. Now that that's changed, we can go ahead and open it, which bracket should have it right here, and now has it updated. Now that it's inside our folder, we can also go here, paste our style here. The cool thing about this one is you don't actually need your style tag. So this is unnecessary. And then this top one is unnecessary. That goes like that. It goes like that. That goes like this. No, this stuff doesn't matter, but oh my goodness. $500 years later. Okay. So again, I just did all that for readability. And we have our H1. We have all our style basically here. But let's see if this updates our page. So we have that here. We have this. Not that. We have it. And as we can see, it didn't actually update it. And this is because we need to link to this. So even though they're in the same folder, our HTML still has no idea that we want this CSS applied to it. So we have to specify using a link, same as we use these to link to external pages or fonts. Same thing. We come here, we add a link, and I don't have it memorized, so link to CSS. Google is our good friend. W3 Schools is our even greater friend, since these guys actually write the rules for HTML and web stuff. So styling HTML, inline, internal, external. We want external. and they give us an example. Where are you at? Here. This is what we're looking for. Control C. Except we want to change our reference, our hyperlink reference. And what do we want to put in here? The name of our CSS, which is here. So now, if we go back, it should be updated. And it's updated again. So that is linking to your CSS external file using a link tag. So now your CSS is linked also to your HTML file, and now you can, happily separate your style from your structure. It just makes it cleaner, better looking and stuff. So let's get out of here. Thinking this is pretty good for the stuff that they showed us. I mean, you can just go on for days and look online and just see a whole bunch of other stuff that you can actually do to improve this. You maybe give it an all, I was gonna say a background color of black, but that will make these words disappear. Let's just we'll end it with that, just changing the background color to something else, even though I said we'd end it with the other thing. But just to show you how the CSS thing works, let's say we want to select the body and we want to apply background color. Oh, not bad. Oh, we can do background image, which is cool too. No, we'll stick to what we learned. Background image is pretty cool because you can actually get like an abstract type of background you find online, and there's a lot of the free ones that you could get through Google or Flickr or whatever. But we'll just do background color, and we'll do something simple like Burlywood. I don't know what that is, but now let's do something weird. Boom. Save this. So now it should apply this to the actual our body, everything within the body of our HTML. And if I minimize this, you will see. Boom. So now we're legit. And we'll go ahead and end this video here. Hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. But yes, we will now be moving on to the next section of freeCodeCamp, which is making our websites responsive, which is so important nowadays. The last thing you want is a non-responsive website. And all that basically means is you want your website to load smoothly, nicely on all platforms, and whether you're on mobile, whether you're on a tablet, whether you're on a PC, whether you're on like a super huge screen or a super small screen, you want your page to adapt to those situations. So stick around. We got more stuff to learn every day, learn something new. Just go ahead and like and subscribe so we can connect with each other and we could all learn from each other. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.